They're pets. Just a couple of fruit bats hanging out. Just having a little meal. So from what I can tell, there's two different tribes within the Dayak people. There's the Kelabit and the Panan. The Kelabit are the more well-educated. They're the majority of the people here in town. The Panan people are the more rural, more traditional folks that still live off the land. And instead of taking one of the local guides, the Kelabits, the more educated ones that speak English, and the ones that are the guides for tourists here in town, I decided to try and work with my host to find some Panan guys to take me out to one of their semi-nomadic camps, out 2 days trek into the forest. And they're like, I don't think people really do this. And they don't speak any English, and like there's a bunch of problems. Do you have 6 days worth of food you can bring? Do you have the right gear? And I was like, yes, I have all of these things. Let's do this. So I've sort of cobbled together my own tour to go see the Panan people outside of where it's comfortable to get to them. And it's going to be interesting. First of all, the two guys don't speak a lick of English, and nobody I'm going to bump into speaks any English. I don't speak any of their language. So it's just going to be pointy-talky for the next 6 days and eating out of cans, you know, this sort of stuff. I've got my hammock, and I've got a bivy sack for rain. This could be really rough, but it's going to be a hell of an adventure. Here we are at base camp, yes. And we're about to head up. There's my guide, and here we go. And just like that, they chop open the bamboo, and it's filled with perfectly good drinking water. Amazing. All right, so not only is this a spear, it's also a blowgun. Okay. You guys feeling tired yet? Yeah. All right, we're getting in it. Whew, oh, little leash friend. You're trying to find a way in, huh? All right, check this out. Bam! Just take a dip in the stream. Eating some chicken and rice with my boys. Yeah, he's like, oh, we match. He's just like, yeah, this is supposed to be. And in the rainforest, it's raining, so no surprise there, I guess. So when they said 2 days of hiking, they meant it. We just wrapped up the first day. And it wasn't like, oh, hey, let's just go for like a walk and take lots of breaks. It was like, we started at 8:30 and we rucked, and it's 4:30 now. And it's getting dark. We still have a little bit of time left, and here's camp. Setting up right now. And that's it, we're in it, man. We're gonna make some dinner and go to bed early, I guess. This is fucking cool. It's really starting to rain now, and it feels really good to be dry under this shelter. Got a fire going in the middle of the rainforest. It's like rain on a tin roof, just a tarp roof. Can I say I'm a creature of habit? I need to get my oatmeal breakfast and some real coffee, because Fish and yuca just don't seem like breakfast to me, I guess. I don't know. Had a couple leeches on me last night, and based on their location, I'm guessing that they were ass men. So my water kind of tastes like a smoky mezcal because I got it off of the tarp, which was directly above our camping fire, and there's a little bit of sediment in it. But I haven't shit myself yet. Oh, I'm just a leech trying to do leech stuff. Oh no, what's happening? Bam! Oh no, what happened? I'm a leech, I'm dead now, oh no! Fuck you, leech. As they say, don't lie, don't lie. Slowly, slowly. So we just got in to the little village, and I washed my clothes, hung them up on the line, and moved into my accommodation for the next 2 days at Longhouse. So I've got this room where I've got my stuff drying and hanging out, and then the longhouses are sort of a communal setup, including a communal kitchen. And here's the communal kitchen with a communal hearth, and I have a little bit of coffee. I think we've earned it. All right, so I just went and met all the kids in the village, and I gave them pencils and little notebooks, and I drew like a little picture in each one, and they were all pretty shy and bashful, but they absolutely loved it, and everybody was like, oh, this guy seems like a good dude. And I'm about to go give some over-the-counter painkillers and antibiotic cream for topical infections to the chief, who I gave him some money to stay, but it's a Longhouse tradition to open it up to anybody who shows up for free. Sort of like Pashtunwali in Afghanistan, they're like obligated to let you in and host you. And so I asked my guide, hey, what should I give? And he said, whatever you want or nothing. So I gave him the cash that I had, and then he gave me these bracelets that they wear, and they're hand woven, and it's actually really impressive. So I'm like super digging this. Boar monkey, yeah, monkey bone. You don't want to take too much. All right, this is where the magic happens. This is what makes this little dart so deadly. For the boars, they put a little metal tip so that it stays in, and then they add this poison, and then they dry it on. And that'll take down a wild boar in 20 minutes. And while it works its way through its system, it'll be running away, and then we have to track it. Look at that. So this is lunch. We've got the bamboo is going to be used to cook the rice, and then this bamboo is going to be used to cook the fish. All right, day 3 is coming to a close. We went out with the blowgun and did some hunting, went out with a net, did some fishing. They got like a some sort of tree squirrel, and then a ton of fish. So we had fish for lunch, and looks like fish for dinner, and I'm smoked. So I'm just hanging out in my hammock here for a minute in town. And I'm dreading tomorrow. Tomorrow's the hike back to the halfway camp. And if I understand correctly, we're gonna do some boar hunting, which I really hope is true. I've got my own personal blowgun manufacturing team hard at work. I've got my hardwood blowgun, and we're expanding the width of the pipe. And then here we're working on the darts. All right, it's day 4, and feel really good. Got a chance to kind of take it easy yesterday, and it's nice right now. It's cool in the mornings, and we're in the shade, and I have access to clean drinking water and all these things. And I can wear no shirt, and we're about to put on our stuff and slog back into the leech infested rainforest for a couple hours to camp. And I just found out that we're going to be in camp now for an additional day because we're going to go boar hunting, which I am totally for. So I understand it's going to be a little bit more austere, but totally worth it. So right now I'm just trying to drink as much water as I can, and then I'm going to fill my bottle, and then looks like it's back to boiled stream water and rainwater that comes off the tarp after that for a couple days. So there we go. I think the thing I'm gonna miss the most about being back in the jungle is being dry. Once you're in the jungle, you're just wet all the time. And you're just under that canopy, it's just humid and wet. Your feet are wet, you're sweaty, and even though it's a little bit cooler because we're at about 1,500 meters, you're still just wet. You're just clammy all the time. So I guess the best is at night, whenever you have the fire going, you can take your shoes off. But your shoes never get dry. So whenever you put them on the next day, they're still wet. And your feet are just, I'm just trying not to get trench foot. As the saying goes, lakau dawai dawai, which means walk slowly, slowly. Currently on a break from the death march. And these are my badass companions. Whew. It is hot and sticky and wet and slippery, and my backpack feels heavy. Just a fun death march. So this is a breaking point. I'd say we're about an hour from tonight's camp, and we're at this little stream, and they managed to throw in a net and already catch a couple of fish. So it's pretty impressive. Well, the leeches got me, but I found one. Oh, sorry, pal. Look at this. These guys, they pulled that off in like 10 minutes. Crazy. Ah, we made it to Blowgun. I've never been so happy to see some sticks with a tarp over them before. Yeah. Home. For the next couple days, actually. Earn my keep.
here you can see after they've heated it, they can easily skin it, well, not skin it, but defur it with their blades. Impressive watching this guy do the work. Carefully saving the things they can save and pushing it so it can be taken back to the village. Not bad for a blowgun and a spear.
Well, I just cut my finger pretty bad, chopping wood. I was holding the log stupidly, and unlike an axe, when you're using a machete, it can skip up and actually hit you. So, skipped up, hit my finger. It's a pretty deep cut. Didn't break the bone, but it's gonna be a big scar across my my index finger knuckle. Now the key is, I guess, keeping it straight and dry until I can get somewhere where we can, I guess, sew it up. I guess you have to sew it up. I don't know. We'll see. But you can see clear down into it. It's a good one. I've got antibiotic cream, and today's the second to last day. Tomorrow we hike out. So, I mean, shouldn't get too bad. I don't think I'm gonna lose it. And then I fly out the day after that to Miri. So then I'll have a couple of things to do. Go to a hospital and, well, maybe go to a hospital and send off the blowgun and everything via mail back home.
All in all? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
iPhone's not going to do this justice, but the golden hour here is beautiful. You can't see the sunset, but you can see the golden sky through the trees. Okay, it's day 6. Today we head back. It's the long hike. It's a 7-hour hike out of the jungle. And the one thing I didn't want to do was get hurt while I was out here, because it's just, there's no easy way to get out. So my hand is feeling better this morning. Last night though, it was throbbing very painfully. And of course, all of my pain medication has been given to the tribal chief, which is a day's hike in the other direction. So I was like, well, fuck it. I think I severed a tendon or two in the top based on the movement that I can get out of it and the pain levels. So I think I might need to go to a hand surgeon. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get back. And then also I'm concerned about infection, obviously, because I have a dirty shirt wrapped around it. I do have some antibacterial cream that I brought along that I put on it. So that's a good thing. But as soon as we get out today, I'm going to redress it. And then I have ciprofloxacin, broad spectrum antibiotic, which, fuck it, if I don't take it now, when would I take it? This is what it's here for. So take that to try and prevent infection, and then try and fly to Sabah and find a hospital to stitch me up / do whatever hand surgeons do to make everything work again. It's gonna be a wet, long slog, and I'm actually a little bit concerned because I only really have my right hand now. And it gets real slippery, and I'm afraid I might fall without another hand to help catch me on some of these little like goat paths that sort of cut up the sides of the little gorges. But none of that now. We're gonna make it back safe. For the first time since we started this trip, my socks are actually dry. I don't know if you can see it. They've turned a nice brown on the inside. It's because I put them up on the roof as they smoked all of the meat all night. So my socks are dry, and smell delicious. I haven't pooped in a couple days, and all of a sudden the spirits started to move me. But it's about time to start walking, and I don't want to hold anybody up, so I'm just gonna gut it out for the next 7 hours of hiking, and then treat myself to a delightful dump, a massive dump, upon return. That'll sort of be like my reward for making it out of here. It might revolutionize the poop industry. It's hard to say.
Like, I just want you to know, this is not easy terrain.
We're about an hour into today's 7-hour death march, and I gotta tell you, feeling pretty good. The day off from hiking when we just hunted was great. My muscles feel fresh. All right, we're getting into the final hours of the death march. Looks like maybe 3 more, and then we're home free. It's a Baguio.
This place is pretty beautiful.
Oh man, it's almost hard to enjoy it when you're this smoked though. Here's my hunter-gatherers. Alright, so made it out. I'm now in Miri, and I've got my blowgun all packaged up. I'm gonna ship that out whenever I get to Kuala Lumpur. DHL, send that back with some poison darts. Don't tell anybody. Got my hand fixed up. Need a couple stitches, but it's only soft tissue and muscle, so that's great news. And honestly, when I got back out, I could have cried. I was so happy to take a real shower and put on nice dry clothes, and it just felt so nice. I put all the clothes I had been wearing for the last 6 days outside. I didn't even want them in the same room. Did some laundry, took a nice shower, took the epic dump we talked about. It was everything I believed it could be and more. Yeah, so great success, and probably the most legit experience I've had on the trip so far.